Boy, you should know her name. Too focused, she focused on her. Girl, you should know her name. Up late, grinding hard, she's a star. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. Don't just know Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. Don't just know she's telling you will heal my body, only soothe my body. All in the soap, all in the soap. Give me one of these. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams.
All right, abundant risings, rich risings. All right. So before we get into everything, I want to shout out, of course, Brother King Simon for everything that he's done. Put me onto the new Black Wall Street in Atlanta. It was amazing, and I definitely will be back in March. If you have missed the first master class, I highly recommend that you go and check out the master class that is coming in. I mean, this master class already happened, but I have the link if you would like to purchase. This is the Major Arcanas. Really great skill to learn tarot. I highly recommend that you at least check it out so you could be able to read yourself. Have patience with yourself, of course, but this will be a great reference if you would like to get a little bit more descriptive with the Major Arcanas. This is my website, so you could just hit that QR code and it goes straight to my website. All right, and definitely check out the Patreon. We have a $7 tier, we have a $10 tier. I definitely recommend. I have 2 Udemy courses also, so you can also get the tarot over there. This is my amazing soap, 7 years in the game. So went well in Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to be master batching. I think I'm out of Glow. I'm out of a few other bars, so I'm actually going to be master batching very soon. I just bought the materials last night when I came and flying. As soon as I flied in, once I hit JFK, New York City, I was already buying stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because the hustle never stops. This is my book. Okay, I have it available on Amazon, and I also have signed copies on my website. If you want to get it from my website, you can, or you could go on Amazon, but they're not signed on Amazon. So I have a few books left. If you want to go and get a book, support your girl, take a picture so I could be able to shout you out. And this is just another picture of somebody here that bought a whole bunch of soap bulk, and I had to take a picture of that. This is our next master class, which is dealing with the minor arcanas, and we're going to be deep diving on the minor arcanas. This is going to be fun. This class is going to be a long class, 1 to 5 p.m., and I'm only charging $44.44. That is definitely very, very cheap. So I definitely recommend that you go and get your seat, okay? Because this is going to be very descriptive. And like I said, between the Major Arcana class and then getting the Minor Arcana class, there's no way that you're not going to be on your A game when it comes down to tarot. And shout outs to all the people that pulled up on me at the New Black Wall Street. It was fun. It was definitely amazing to meet you guys in person. And then meeting new people as well at the New Black Wall Street, which was very fun as well. It was just amazing. And then also shout outs to my friend. I went to go check them out at their tattoo shop. I'll make a post on that by itself. Hopefully I can have him on my channel so you guys could be able to tap in. But this was actually a really good um, trip I had really got inspired by a lot of the entrepreneurs there, and then I also learned some things that I wouldn't do. And that exactly what we're going to be speaking about today is how can you tell the difference between a hobby and a business, like a career path for you, right? This is going to be a good lesson because a lot of people get discouraged because they think that their business is a career path and is actually a hobby. And so what happens is that people, and I've seen this multiple times, people buy LLCs, they get the EIN, they pay so much money for like business cards, for the aesthetics. And then within 2 years, they're out the business and they feel discouraged because they spent so much money on buying the business cards and and like I said, or buying these things, buying the LLC, buying the EIN, and they don't even have a business plan. That's why I also would recommend getting my consultation, so we could be realistic. And that's also a reason why it's really important for you to know your chart, know your astrology chart, because if you know your astrology chart, then you're able to really see what exactly is the do's and don'ts. So today we're going to be referencing one of my favorite books, Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't gotten this book, I highly recommend that you get it. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there for you guys, for my hustle people, for my entrepreneurs. Please read this book. All right, so I'm gonna be referencing a few things here. I have a lot to do as well, so this is just going to be the first video, and then I'm gonna get back into tarot for the rest of the week. But so let's talk about it. I had taken some notes last night because I was on fire. We're going to be understanding what is the difference between a hobby and versus a career, and understanding divine purpose. Okay, many individuals struggle with the destruction and distinction between a hobby and a career, often wondering if their current work is aligned with their divine purpose. A hobby is typically an activity pursued for personal enjoyment, relaxation, or creative expression. In contrast, a career is a professional pursuit aimed for financial stability, growth, social contribution. However, both can intersect when aligned with one deeper calling. Your divine purpose is the unique combination of talents, passions, and values you bring into the world to serve others and fulfill your higher potential. This lecture will delve into the difference between hobbies and careers, explore how one can discern their divine purpose, and provide a framework to determine whether their current career is simply a hobby in disguise or a path truly aligned with their soul's purpose. Now, once again, I'm going to keep on saying it's very important for you, Rich Risings, to know your astrology chart, know your natal chart, all right? Because your natal chart could tell you a lot. Where's your north node at? Where's your south node at? Right? Your hobby could be something here that you have done in a past life. And that's the reason why it's just a hobby in this life, because it's something here that you already mastered in your past life. Um, and I could get into what is the south node, what is the north node for those who aren't really into astrology, but it's very important for us to understand our niche so we could be able to do that. Please go get my book. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys Breaking Barriers. It is also on my website. And this could also help you when it comes down to discerning what is it that you want to do. Okay, but you need to do a self-assessment. See, the thing about people is that they live their life doing the same thing over and over and over, not knowing that they're putting a spell within themselves, right? Even this weekend, learning about certain things that I need to come to face with, it broke a lot of spells within my own DNA, right? Because a lot of the times we think subconsciously something here is happening or it can't be achievable, but really it's a spell that you put on yourself. I'm going all over the place. That's Pisces shit. But let's dive into this very important conversations. Please share with a friend. Definitely for your friends that are looking to build a business, right, or have a business now, and they're wondering why they're in a very stuck place. I'm also going to give you some examples from Rich Dad Poor Dad of some things that I've noticed, that I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, and even seeing it this weekend at the Black New Wall Street, and why certain people are stuck in the way that they're in, and why their businesses is not moving. All right. So let's identify what is a hobby and what is a career, because some people think that their hobby is their career and their career is their hobby, and it's not the same, you guys. It's not the same. And I could give you guys an example of how I started the company PW Collections off of doing a crochet business, which was my hobby and not a career. Let's talk about it. Hobby. A hobby brings joy and relaxation, but is not pursued for monetary gain or professional recognition. Often done in leisure time and not tied to external expectations. Examples: painting, gardening, knitting, photography, writing, crochet. Career is a structure pursued tied to long term goals, financial stability, and skill development. Requires consistency, dedication, accountability to external systems. Example: corporate roles, entrepreneurship, teaching, medicine. Okay, so let's stop here. I gave you some examples, which some people do make painting a hobby, gardening into a hobby. I mean, gardening, painting, photography, writing into an actual career. But we also have to understand how, first of all, what is our niche? Where is your game plan? And what exactly, how much you're making? So let me just break it down, right? I when I started the business, the crochet business, I also was just I started the business because, similar to this, it brought me joy. Um I am a survival of suicide. When I was like 16, I was in Job Corps, going to school for culinary arts, and I was in Job Corps trying to find my purpose. I knew that high school, I didn't really like school because I'm a very hands-on type of person, and I wanted to take a trade. So I've already subconsciously in my mind knew that I needed to do something here with my hands. I needed to see purpose. I needed to see something and see the fullness of it. You know, some people, they could be able to just do something here and they just be like, okay, whatever. I need to see exactly what I'm going to, what is the finished outcome of whatever it is that I'm doing. So I went to school for culinary arts in Job Corps, Connecticut, New Haven. Shout outs to New Haven. And I was lacking some type of purpose, right? Because even though cooking was something here that I enjoyed, it still didn't give me the life. It didn't provide me the service that I thought. So I became very sad, and stuff happened, and I started learning about the law of attraction, quantum physics right after. Go check out the interview with me and King Simon. I speak about it a lot, and I'm gonna always talk about it because it was definitely a stepping stone into my career path. So crochet to me became more of a what I thought was a career for me, because when I started it, it made me money. But within 2 years, like a year, 2 years, I came back to New York and I started a company. I invested in all this yarn, and people were buying it. People were buying it. I found my niche when it came down to making specific products in the crochet market, which was making beanies, right? Um, and when I did it big. I had my photographer. I had the crochet business. It was a business. But what happened was, at the time, And this is just the personality that I had. I noticed that now the crochet business started to become more popular, right? When I first started the crochet business, it was a predominantly European European type of business. White old people, old women, old men, white people, Europeans that really was into crochet, right? And so I was like, okay, since people want to get into the crochet business, they want to start making hats now, right? Everybody started wanting to make hats. What I did was I then took it up a notch and decided to become a fiber artist, right? So what is a fiber artist? A fiber artist is someone here that studies fibers. And it was actually a black woman that taught me about fibers, how to make my own yarn, taught me how to wind my own yarn. It was a big thing. I stepped it up with the business, right? But when I started to actually become more popular, the demand started to become more. But what happens is that now you have places like Forever 21, you have places like H&M, you have places like Walmart that basically started to use the crochet, but selling it at a cheaper price. So now people are saying, well, why would I get a hat from Paris when I could get a knitted hat from H&M, Forever 21, et cetera, et cetera. So now the business was compromised because big corporations started to see that the fiber arts started to become very popular, right? So I was having troubles, and at this time I would call myself a starving artist, right? Because I was barely making money. The money that I was making was going right back into to the yarn. There was also a it's also seasonal, right? Crochet it was very seasonal, and I didn't know. I wasn't very aware of the fact that it was seasonal, and so that also played a big role in the business. So when the summertime came, I made crochet tops for the women, but not all the time that I was getting the business. So now I'm barely making money. I have to go outside. I have to go into the streets. I gotta go and sell these hats. And when you're outside and you start to vend, you get to see what people like. Um, Long story short, I had realized once I got pregnant with my daughter, I cannot have this business anymore because it is not making me the money that's going to help me pay my bills. It was barely putting food on the table. I barely could do anything with this. So that is a hobby. A hobby is something here that you love to do. Like it said, it's it's something here that gives you purpose. It brings you relaxation, but it's not. It's something here that's not going to gain you professional recognition in a way. And we could agree to disagree. I know some fiber artists. I know some crochet artists that do have a very successful business, but I know 9 times out of 10 they're only showing that success, but they're not showing those slow times throughout the years because it's still seasonal. Unless you are a, a celebrity crochet artist that can now you could do that, but even that is still seasonal if you get what I'm saying, you guys, because if you're making a whole suit, how long does that suit take you? 2 weeks, a month? So you put in all that dedication and you just getting one big check, but that one big check goes to everything else. So all that time that you just paid, you just used for that crochet time, there could have been more. That could have been more finances. I hope y'all catching up. Okay. Woo. Now let's get into it. We need to discern if your career is in line with your divine purpose, if it's merely a hobby. Post for following questions. So these are some questions that I would love for you to speak about, to think about. Do I feel fulfilled and energizing by your work? If your work drains you or feels like an obligation, it may not be aligned with your purpose. And so what happens is that when something here becomes a hobby and something here that you enjoy to do, right? And then you start making money from it, but now it's an obligation, that is not fueling your purpose. You get what I'm saying? Now you're trying to make that hobby into something, but it's not the same because now you have to. It's like after a while, my hands used to be numb. I used to have crochet. I had knitting machine for my hats, and my hands were still numb because of how much I was producing. But it wasn't it when I thought about the time process that I'm spending on just one hat, two hats, three hats, and then the time frame and the money that I'm putting in, it wasn't adding up. It wasn't adding up. And a lot of people, that is the spell that they put on themselves because they want this outcome so bad, so that now they discourage themselves and see, damn, I can't make my business grow. I'm just going to go back to the corporate world. I'm just going to get a corporate job because this specific hobby I made into a business and it's not giving me that financial income that I need and I provide. Now, if you was to do what it says now, making that into a career, let's say if I wanted to stay in crochet, being a teacher would be more profitable for me, right? Crochet classes, going to the schools, teaching the children, working with different companies so I could be able to maybe even wholesale my products. But see, I didn't have the time. I got pregnant and I was in survival mode. I had to do what I had to do. And at the moment, my hobby was not my career. Now, later on in my path, right now, I incorporate crochet, but it's not the main business. So if you could still go back into doing that business, that hobby, and incorporating in the large business, but if you have to be realistic with yourself here, guys, and ask yourself, is this what I'm doing here bringing me the financial freedom for my long term, or am I still living in survival mode? Am I trying to make a hobby into something here that is realistically not happening right now? And a lot of entrepreneurs do that. They want this thing to work out so bad to the point where they're investing so much in one thing, and then they're not even realizing here that that is just not their niche. That is not their brand. That's why I have the consultation, because I come across a lot of people, the people that have done consultation with me, they want to do everything. But also knowing, like I said, your chart, your natal chart could tell you a lot about what is the do's and don'ts. And half of the time, 9 times out of 10, the things that you want to do is something here that you've already done in your past life. So let's keep it going. Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't even know my printer could print back and forth like that. Oh, okay. Divine purpose often involves intrinsic motivation, doing something because it feels meaningful. Okay, so your divine purpose makes you feel, so it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something here that's meaningful. So one of the questions that I asked for you guys today: does this activity contributes to the greater good or help others? A true business that's going to last for a long time, that's going to last for over 12 years, 5 years, you're going to know if your business is a really good business, because if it goes over 3 to 5 years, that is when you start to usually make money. Even down to the banks, the banks are not going to give you, unless you do like you get a loan or whatever the case may be. And even loans, they ask you how long you've been in business for. Usually business owners don't get the money back, the profitable money back, after 5 years. You have to, even if you get a LLC, a EIN, and you get a business account, if a true account will let you know, accountant will let you know that you are not going to make your real money until after 3 to 5 years. That's why you come up with a business plan, right? And you have to be realistic. What is the investments of that business? Is it 10,000? Is it 20,000? And you must keep your receipts so you could be able to file your taxes. That's another thing about what business people aren't doing nowadays. They're not filing for their businesses. And usually when you just start your business, you're not going to file because you're barely making money. But once you reach that 2 3 years, still do the legality things if you're logical of what is it that you're doing. But everything needs to be filed, because then your profit is getting back to you. That money that you invested in, that chair that you bought, those tables that you bought, that equipment that you bought, definitely if you're in the music industry, you get that money back during taxes time. People, I've met a lot of entrepreneurs that never filed their taxes, and they've been in the business for over 10 years. Do you know how much money they are losing out because they are so ignorant to the fact that they feel like, oh, if I tell the government the money that it's just like this mindset. That's that curse that I was telling you guys about. When I realized I started a crochet business, I spent $10,000 on that business and lost the profit for that. But when I started the soap business, I made all that money back because I realized what is my niche and how I could be able to profit from that. These tables, this chair, this lights, all of this goes back into tax season. But people are not thinking long term. They thinking short term, and they're too attached to the hobbies and not what a career is. So you got to ask yourself, how long have I been doing this? And realistically, what is the turnaround from the finances that I'm getting? Okay. Please invest in a consultation with me, because I could be able to really help you. Okay, I've helped plenty of people on their career, and giving them the honest truth, giving you the honest truth. I'm not gonna lie to you, because time is money. So if you don't want to hear the truth, baby, don't get no fucking consultation with me. All right. I wish that somebody here told me, yes, that's cute and all, crochet is cute and all, but that's not gonna make you your money. You're gonna be a starving artist forever. When you're doing a business, you need to have a business that's going to help other businesses. If it's solely to invest back in you, then nobody's not going to invest in you as much as you think. You have to have a business that is going to also help other businesses. And collaboration is one of the things that people also lack in their business. They don't want to collab with nobody. So now you stay in this one niche, you stay in this one lane, you dealing with the same people. These people are not investing in you because they see you all the time. And so what happens is that you keep that stagnant energy right then and there. But when you start to collaborate with other people that are maybe different than you or that's like-minded than you, then what happens now is that you're bringing in their following, and they're getting your following, and they see their investments, and they see you and you see them. And what happens is that you're building what? An alliance. People don't have alliances. And that is a big, big no-no in a long-term business. Rich Dad Poor Dad speaks about all the time. I'm going to speak about a story. In Spanish, we call it a pataki, of something that happened to a business owner and how it fucked up their business. Let's talk about it before I even get into any of these stuff, right? When you start a business, it's mental. It's a mental thing. It's sacred. It's a very sacred thing that you're doing because you're going against the grain and people would not understand what it is to start a business. They don't understand the time, staying up, putting more hours. They only just see you staying at home when they see you, they see the good part, but they don't see all the parts. Now, there's a story that Rich Dad Poor Dad speak about. Please go get this book for all my entrepreneurs. Rich Dad Poor Dad, really, really good book. Um, of a business owner that was making a lot of money. I believe there was they had um they had a business in food. Now this person soup was so good. It was so good. The soup was so good. Everybody every Sunday knew that this person here was going to make their soup. They came. The soup was sell out. The soup was sell out. But also it was the faith in that person. It was the love that that person put in that made the soup sell. It was a mindset. One day, somebody came and challenged this person. I'm just paraphrasing because I was trying to find the chapter. They said chapter 3, but when I went on there, I didn't see I didn't see it. I didn't see the story, so it must be in a different chapter. If you read the book, please let me know. But long story short, um, somebody came up to the person. It was just like, "Oh yeah, soup is only seasonal. The soup is only seasonal." They said something in reference into that. And what happened was that person that was living in faith and it was working for them now felt discouraged. It felt like, wow, is this really seasonal? You know what happened? He went from making thousands of dollars from that soup to now making half of that money, 5,000, because of the spell that that other person put on him. He started to second guess the soup. He started to feel like, okay, well, I'm not going to come out around the summertime for this soup because it's only seasonal. So where am I going with that? Another thing that entrepreneurs get fucked up is that they listen too much to, and it's good to listen to people because you get to hear what other people say, but what is working for you is working for you. What works for you. And that same vibration in your mind that started that company and that money is the same vibration that you have to keep up. And that's what messes a lot of people up in the business, because you get with somebody, you get with a partner, they love you for what you do. But then when they see how much time it is, and then they start to throw that little black magic on you, like, oh, you could put it down for a second. Oh, you don't have to work all the time. Oh, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. What happens is that that spell gets to you, and now you feel like, damn, am I overworking myself? Am I doing too much? And that value starts to go down because you devalue yourself and you devalue your business. So it's very important for us to also be around alliances and people that feed you. People break up with people and they become millionaires. They make more money. They grow fucking further. They get into quantum leaping because that person was actually the reason why they was stopped. They got stagnant in the first place. But when you come across a lot of entrepreneurs or alliances or partnerships that actually feed you, you grow further. If this person in the book was like, that soup is good, how about you take that soup into other businesses? How about you wholesale your soup to the local businesses? Then that person, that artist, that entrepreneur would have taken that next to the next level. So it's very important for us to also come across people in our lives that's going to feed life into you, not death. Yesterday, I'm writing my second book, y'all. I already started writing the book, and one of the things that I was looking into, because I'm also reading this book is on quantum physics. I'm reading a lot of books. I came across this called the law of pure desire. And in the law of pure desire, it also speaks about us knowing what is it that we desire and what level it is that you need to get to that one purpose. So here are some things that I would like for you guys to do on your free time. List some of the things that uniquely makes you you. Include your personal interests as well as the activities you'd like to engage in. Interesting in politics or enjoy basketball, back riding. I also want you guys to scan the list and write down any hobby, goals, work activities that can be connected with those interests. If you are unsure, do some research. All right. List some of the things that you feel that's most valuable to you. It's important for you to also include money, but it's not okay to limit your dreams or abilities on just that. Some of the things that you may include needs to be important for family time, friends, outdoor activities, or whatever the case may be, because that also helps you with finding your divine purpose. A lot of the times people they get into things for the money, and what happens is that they become very depressed because they're only doing it for the money. They're not thinking about, okay, I want to be financially free so I could be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to have a business or have a company to where I could be able to use that money or go into business trips or do certain things to where I could bring my family involved in it. So now you got into a company where you have to be more strenuous on yourself. You have to be more physically inclined. That it takes away from being with your family, your friends. And then what happens is that you become very depressed because of the fact that how you have spent so much time away from everybody and you cannot be able to dive and pour into the people that you love the most. So today I would like I wrote some questions um that I would like for you guys to really look into when it comes down to realizing here, am I in a flow of just living in my hobby, or is this could be an actual career? Excuse me. When a hobby is a hobby, you can start or stop the hobby, right? Without any major repercussions. Did you hear what I just said? A hobby is a hobby because it you could start or stop it anytime. I stopped the crochet business and and nothing ever happened. I can't stop the soap company. You got to ask yourself today, am I doing something here that is going to help others or make them feel good? And is this a liability or is it an asset? Is this a liability or is it an asset? And if you don't know what a liability and an asset is, please Google it because I'm not about to do that right now. Careers demand long term commitment and come with responsibilities. That's how you know that you're in a good career of choice when you have responsibilities. I can't I I can't just stop because people are invested in this company. This makes people feel good. I see results. People rely on the company, or it makes them feel good. So businesses like soap businesses, um, music, music producing, tattoo artists, right? Um, Real estate, massage therapy, Reiki, uh, depending on your market. These are things that people need. Photography is a seasonal, unless you're a very popular photographer. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of photographers have to do other things. They can't just do photography. It's not it's not a career path unless you are in it for 5 years and you gain the expertise and people fly you out. Cool. I have my photographer Libra. Shout out to you, Max. I'm about to call you after this because I actually need some photo shoot. This Libra photographer, I know him since I was like 14. He came straight from Jamaica. He started from graphic designing. He also invested in photography, and now he does videography. But one thing about him, he also have a side job, but he always perfected his craft. He always gotten better. If you're going to stick in a company and you want that to be a niche, you have to go and take classes. You have to be better. You have to figure out how to become the best in in your niche. People learn one thing and think that they're the best, and they don't have to take no more classes. I don't have to go and and that's one thing that I learned this weekend, is that there's some people that get very comfortable in where they're at and they never grow from that. Or they're okay with just making $1,000. Oh, I made 1,000, I'm good. No, that's not enough. Well, maybe in certain places, $1,000 one time is good, but in New York City or just in general, when you have a business, that 1,000 is really 500 because you put 500 back into it. And there's another book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Richest Man in Babylon tells you to put 10% of whatever it is that you make back into the business. So then you have to pay yourself. And a lot of people don't pay themselves because they're survival mode in the business. Another thing that a lot of people tend to do is that they get into something here and they stop enjoying what they do. Do you look forward to this career? Do you look forward to this right here? You look forward to the hobby until it becomes a career, and then you don't like the hobby no more. And that's what happened with me with crochet. I stopped crocheting for years because I had to also understand that it was just something here that made me feel good, and it wasn't something here that brought value to me or my business or my family. No shade to no crochet artists out here, by the way. This is just my story and my experience, and I will be writing a book on that as well. I do see myself helping people. Obviously, when I get to a better place, and you see this times fold, you see what I'm saying, which is gonna happen. But right now, when you're coming from humble beginnings, and you guys are seeing the beginnings of something great. So we need to assess. In my book will help you assess, and that's why I wrote this book, so we could be able to assess ourselves, breaking barriers. Some of us need to find and understand and assess ourselves and see where we're at in emotional, financial. Let me just bring I'm gonna bring the book and just read you some of the questions. I'll just read you one page. Vision for the future is one of the last pages in my book. And one of the questions I have is, where do I see myself in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? People only seeing themselves for right now. That one question alone is going to bust your head, because half of the time, 9 times out of 10, a lot of people are not even thinking about next week. They're thinking they're in survival mode. They're not thinking about the business or where they see themselves within a year, 10 years, 5 years. That's why it's good to have a business plan, but you also need to have a business plan for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and this year. Have a business plan for each month. What is the business plan? What is the overall money that I want to have for this month? Weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years. That's the shit that we need to start thinking about. Then you got to ask yourself, what does your, one of the other questions is, what does my ideal day look like? How can I incorporate pieces of it into today? A lot of people do the same shit all the time, and they're not incorporating things that's going to help produce. That's why I like my Patreon, because we start our days with intentions. What does it mean to have intentions? Simple. When you live with intentions, then you could be able to have, you already expect, you're commanding. That's the law of command. I command this to happen. Gratitude. I have a section in my Breaking Barriers book speaking about gratitude and the importance it is, because a lot of people, and I've seen this weekend, is that people are in business, but they're not happy, they're not thankful, they come to work, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna make this amount of money. Oh, this is not moving. Oh, it's the location. Everything is, you're already putting the spells on yourself. You've already put the divine spells on yourself, the black magic on yourself, and that's the reason why your business is not growing, because you, first of all, you're starting the business with, oh man, let's see how this goes. You're not, there's nothing, it's nothing, you're not grateful for the fact that you could even get up and you could be able to work and have a different schedule than other people. Shout outs to Chill Will. Divine Masculine in the house. Thank you for everybody that's tapping in. This was more longer than I expected, but wow. See, we have somebody in here. Oh my God, baby! I'll remember you. Oh, I love you, Paris. I remember you from Brooklyn. You're scared. I even took a crochet class with you years ago. Super glad you're doing your thing on YouTube. Oh my God, I remember you, baby. See, that's what I'm saying. People see me in the trenches, baby. I've been outside. I wasn't just, this shit was not easy. Capricorn rising shit. You feel me? Pressure makes diamonds. You gotta find your niche, y'all. So I trust that this video will do you really well for everybody that is looking to get into a long-term business. And one of my advices to you is to don't get comfortable with just one way of making money, because then you will be limiting yourself. But also, when you have a business, be the umbrella for that business. That business needs to be an umbrella. Have the main thing, or a tree, right? You have the root, and then you have the stems, right? So you have the base, right? And then you have little things to be able to feed off of. And that's how you're going to be able to have a long-term successful business. So, oh, thank you guys for the cash apps. I see it. Please share this with friends. Share this with people here that is going through a transition. For if you are thinking about coming out with a business, please go and get a consultation with me. I have it on my website. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick. pwcollections.com. Let me just share this screen with y'all. Um, hold on, so y'all could see the website, and you could be able to get your consultation with me. I will need your natal chart. I will need it. Okay. If you don't have your natal chart, you could give me your date of birth, the place, the location, and the timing. I need the timing, and I could be able to do that. All right. So you're gonna click sub classes, ebooks, and then hold on. Let's see something. It should be in there, but there we go. Consultation. I'm gonna put it in the classes too, and then those right here. I have business consulting for 1 hour. What is my expectations? My expectations, if you would like to get a business, what is it that you want? Don't just come and ask me, oh, what should I do, Paris? No, you need to give me at least 4 to 5 ideas that is realistic. And then I need you guys to also be able to have your natal chart so I could be able to give you the pros and cons and other things that your chart that you could be able to do with the chart that you have. Because you might be able to start a food company. You might be able to add some type of aesthetics to bring the people to you. Like I had one sister, I'm not gonna say her name because that's private stuff, but she has been a barber. But in her chart, she also could have had she could also incorporate food or incorporate other services that could be able to enhance her finances. Even like being a barber, you could get a vending machine and make the finances off of the vending machine in the area of doing your barbering. So, just little things like that can make you extra finances and financial freedom. And then uh you go from one vending machine to another. Talking about that. Oh man, let me see. Sorry, I was just writing it down. The vending machine just now. Vending machine. It's all right, Reg. All right. Yeah. So vending machines. Um, definitely if you work at a spot that that you're already paying for like vending machines will be really good. Food. If you have a food business, you know what I'm saying, just adding a little bit more flair. Holla at me. I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? My mind goes crazy with investments, but I trust that this video is going to give you the inspiration that you need. And like I said, I don't talk for free no more. I know some people be like, "Oh, Paris, can I call you?" No, gotta pay for my time, respectfully. But I trust that you guys will love this and watch this video as much as you can. Please, 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 please share with a friend. Sharing is caring. And I'll speak to you guys later. Love and light. Have a good day.